Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video giving my thoughts on whether or not I think The Walking Dead Season 6's first half has ruined Morgan. And spoiler warning if you're not caught up on the Walking Dead television series. So, Sundays just don't quite feel the same. There's something missing. There's something missing. It kind of sucks. No Walking Dead on Sundays equals just kind of like regular Sunday day off. It's just not quite as much fun. It's no fun. So, wanted to, of course, get in the regular Walking Dead video for today. This one decided we do a Q&A. Yesterday did the death predictions for the second half of Season 6 and who I think is going to be killed off. Prior to that, we did top 10 greatest episodes of The Walking Dead so far, updated for the first half, and I've been doing lots of topics this week that have been some fun, doing some trailers and things like that. So more of a mix to come. Also want to do some comic book related videos for The Walking Dead because there's some awesome covers and stuff that have been hitting that are really cool variant covers and stuff, which we'll talk about in those videos. So I got a bunch of your guys' questions. Keep sending them to me all throughout the break, by the way, guys. So now is your best chance. If you wanted to ask me a question, I've seen a few people who have messaged me and say, I send through these questions, but you never answer them. Well, now's the best time. If you ask questions right now, you have a much better chance of me answering them or putting them in a video than if you send them through during the regular season when there's 100 messages a day or something crazy like that, depending on, what happens exactly. Like if everybody thinks Glenn's dead and everybody goes crazy. So send me your questions is all I'm saying. First question for today's Q&A is from Pop Culture Stuff, and he or she says, hey Trev, do you prefer Crazy Morgan or Reborn Morgan? And then he says, or she says, I prefer him crazy. And yeah, man, that's why I wanted to include in this one. Season 6 has kind of brought him back to the point where we kind of knew in Season 5, obviously he's looking for Rick, but at the beginning he's got the, beginning of Season 5, he's got the badass face, he takes off the mask. He's all ready to go. So we didn't know for sure if he was Peaceful Morgan at that point or still crazy, I'm going to kick your ass with my bow staff Morgan. So we didn't know. Now we know for sure. Morgan is a man of peace, and all life is precious, Daryl, and he's not going to kill anybody. Basically, that's his resolve. That's his deal. However, I do think no matter what your rules are in life, there are certain exceptions to every rule. You can't go with algorithms like that to the point where, you never break any rule that you have. I mean, you can have values, that's important, you can have things, but every time you got to weigh, you have to weigh these considerations, right? Are you going to body slam, Carol, one of the characters who helped save the entire team, or did save, not help, but did save the entire, including Morgan too. She saved Morgan's life too, because he was on his way to Terminus as well, right? So yeah, man, she just, wow. She's awesome. She's been a great character all the way through, and yeah, I mean, she saved everybody. So for him to do that when all she's really trying to do is, she caught him, he's keeping the alpha wolf alive, she sees it, and she wants to finish it, right? That's all there is to it. She probably can't understand why he's keeping him alive. I guess I can understand why he might want to, but and he may be useful for information and things like that, which is fine. But, Carol's never been one to hesitate, right? She's going to go in, she's going to finish it right away if she can. So, not leave any loose ends around while you have, a zombie herd coming through the front gates. So it makes a lot of sense from her perspective. You guys know I agree with her. So Morgan, does that. He's done a lot of the things this season. He's tough as nails either way, which is cool. But I did also prefer him, pop culture stuff, I preferred him crazier, even though, yeah, it's better to see Morgan as a good guy than if he was to try to attack Rick's group or something like that, which would be really stupid. Kind of like he did in Clear. So I guess it wouldn't be stupid if he did, but if he did it again, it'd kind of be dumb. So plus for them to have the story make sense, he's got to want to go find, Rick and got to want to go find people, and that's got to come from a positive place, I think. I don't think you can come from a negative spot and want to do something like that. But I personally preferred Morgan in a more kind of crazed state, at least a little crazy. You can never go full peaceful. Never go full peaceful. You can't do that. You got to have some of the crazy still left in you in a zombie apocalypse. It's necessary. Next question is from LordKmTube UHFS, and here she says, "You're saying you don't like Morgan much for the body slam, right? Let me ask, would you rather have Morgan kill everyone in Alexandria or protecting everyone?" So it's a good question. Like I said, I would definitely prefer him protecting everyone. However, I do think, like in the recent issue of The Walking Dead, where Negan points out to Rick, there's us and there's them, right? You have to take care of your own group. Other groups that attack you, that's like another group of people with their own motivations and everything like that. They're not you, they're not us, they're them. So you have to be able to separate between your group and another group, and if another group attacks you, such as the governor's group or Negan's group or the wolves or whatever, you have to be able to defend yourself. There's nothing wrong with defending yourself. And in a zombie apocalypse, not killing is not very smart. I think you have to. It's kind of kill or be killed. The way I look at it, in most cases. But I do agree with your point here that it's better that he's protecting. I just wish you wouldn't go all or nothing. I wish there would be a little bit more gray in there, which there might be. We'll see what happens. Next one's from Bryan Donovan, and he says, "Hey, random question. How many times have you said, 'Trev back again, here to bring you another video?' Because I've been listening to you say that since season 3 of The Walking Dead." Probably somewhere around 5,000 or 6,000 times, Brian, at least. Because consider that I don't always take the first intro to use. Sometimes I'll do the intro 2 or 3 times just to get it, kind of right, so that my voice doesn't crack too much. It doesn't sound too ridiculous, because oftentimes it does. But at least 5,000 or 6,000 times is the answer, Brian. So there you go. Next one is from Salma Abbas, and he or she says, Q&A, would you like to see the last Walking Dead episode be a 2-hour movie on cinema? I think that would be really cool. Man, absolutely. Yeah, that would be awesome to see that. I would love to see, when the series is finally coming down to an end. And I think, HBO's doing this with Game of Thrones, where they'll have like a finale in the theater, so you can go watch it at the theater if you want, at the same time as when it's airing on TV. It'd be cool to see like a theater-only type deal, so the series ends, but then you got to go to the theaters at a certain point to see like a finale or something, or if they even just show it at a lot of the cinema, would be really cool for the big finale, whenever that eventually does happen, however many seasons away that is, hopefully a long time, because I don't want to see the end, Walking Dead end anytime soon. We'll do a couple more. I'm trying to cut the Q&As down a little bit. Want to get them to around 10 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes is good. Sometimes I go over 15, and people don't watch it all the way through. I've seen the statistics, so I'm trying to keep them down a little bit. Next one's from Alex Andrejek, and he says, "Hey Trev, do you think we will see some sort of face-off between Rick and Morgan? I think it would be cool to see Morgan versus Rick, Carol, Michonne, and maybe a couple other members of the group. We already saw that Morgan can take on several people at one time on his own, so I really want to see how that kind of battle would play out. Thanks for taking the time to read this, and keep up the good work, brother." That'd be cool to see that. I don't think he'd fare too well against them. He might have fared pretty well against a few wolves at the same time. But if you throw Rick in there, if you've got Michonne, that's just a bad call. I think that's bad. Carol too. Everybody, that wouldn't go too well for Morgan, I don't think. I don't think he could take all 3 of them at once. No way. Not them. Maybe 3 wolves, but not them. Not Rick especially, because and Michonne too with her sword and everything. I mean, that'd be a good one right there. Michonne versus Morgan, sword versus staff. That'd be cool to see, just a one-on-one, right? Interesting. But first part of your question, could we see a face-off between Rick and Morgan? At this point, it makes a lot of sense that we would, but Rick, he's got his own issues to worry about right now, and, the wolf's probably going to get away, or it looks like close to it, at least. So that should be interesting to see. But, he's going to be pissed at what happened and what Morgan did. He's going to be really pissed, because Morgan could have told them earlier that he did when they all sat down, and he didn't. So he kept it to himself. So Wow, yeah, that's crazy. It's kind of like the thing in the trailer that we never saw come to fruition in the TV series. Maybe it will eventually still come down to where you see Rick versus Morgan or something, but I think that Morgan wants to be part of the group there, and of course Deanna's dead now, so Rick is going to basically be in charge. And Rick could exile Morgan if he really wanted to, so I think Morgan will have to listen to him, and I don't think Morgan will really question too much what he has to say. Next one's from Perry 11. He says, "Hey Trev, I was wondering if you have played or even heard of the new Walking Dead No Man's Land mobile game. If you have, what do you think about it?" Yeah, I've heard of it. I've seen it. It looks pretty good. I haven't actually played it yet myself, so that'd be cool to check out. Maybe that's something I'll check out later. I can give you my thoughts on it if I've actually checked it out. And then the next one's from Torrid, and we'll make this the last one. He says, "Hey Trev, do you think walkers feel pain? Sometimes when walkers are killed, they growl and seem to show anguish, but I don't know if any pain is actually shown." Well, if they put themselves in harm's way, they either don't feel any pain at all or very, very little. Can't help themselves but go forward no matter what happens. Because if you did feel pain and you got stabbed or something like that, you would be in shock. You'd stop. Walkers, to a degree, they must feel pain because they have the same system as ours, right? Of course, just decayed. But it must be very, very, very little, or basically almost none at all if they're going to put themselves in harm's way. But you are right; they do add some cool sound effects and things like that in there too to make it make sense. So my answer is very little to basically almost none, which is why they'll keep going. Like if you stab one or shoot one, it'll keep going. Maybe just for a second, it kind of slows them down a little bit, right? Unless you destroy their body or something like that. So yeah. Anyway, I'll call it here for today's Q&A, guys. Like I said, more videos, of course, to come on comic book series and stuff like that we'll talk about. And keep sending me your questions for more Q&As. Have another video for you guys tomorrow. So always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace.